Meanwhile, the National Human Rights Commission is partnering with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees to monitor the humanitarian situation in Adamawa, Bauchi, Benue, Gombe and Taraba states. At a meeting in Adamawa State, the Acting Executive Secretary, National Human Rights Commission, Mrs. Oti Anupe, says the intention is to have an idea of the population of IDP returnees in order to respond to their needs.
Providing for the needs of the internally displaced people like these ones is a lot, considering their daily demands and challenges. And ever since the crisis in the northeast began, the government has tried to meet up with their responsibilities in ensuring the needs of the IDPs are taken care of. Even at that, a lot still needs to be done. That is why the National Human Rights Commission, in collaboration with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, has gathered partner MDA agencies to have a comprehensive insight of the population of IDP returnees and how to respond to their needs.
The Commission continues to work directly in the areas of community monitoring, which is to identify, measure, and analyze the protection risks and needs of affected communities in targeted states. Also, rapid protection needs assessment by conducting immediate assessments in emergency areas and accessible newly liberated communities to enable rapid multi-sectoral response.
It is also an opportunity for the various agencies to table out their challenges.
The AG also directed that henceforth in the state, all rape cases be taken over by the Minister of Justice from the police. And this should be prosecuted at the High Court of Justice. This is the court that has unlimited justice.
All what we've been hearing about IDPs, all what the whole world has been hearing about IDPs is happening here. And you are the monitors that go to see, the devastating effects of this displacement.
Following this meeting, the MDAs are expected to respond and deliver the desired humanitarian response to the IDPs and the returning IDPs in the area of protection, rights and basic needs.
Over now to Kenya, where in a move aimed at reducing the wage bill in the public sector, the salaries of the president and members of parliament will be slashed after next month's fiercely contested elections. The government gazette signed by the chairperson of the Independent Salaries and Remunerations Commission says the president's gross salary will be cut from $16,000 to $14,000 a month, while that of MPs will fall from $7,200 to $6,100 a month. Members of Parliament will no longer have access to a car grant and an allowance for attending plenary sessions of Parliament. Kenya's MPs are set to be among the highest paid in the world, especially after their allowances are added to their salaries. After the last election, they caused huge controversy by resisting moves to cut their salaries and even threatened to block the passage of the national budget. Meanwhile, barely a month to the elections, Kenya's Chief Justice and the President are in an unusual sharp exchange, with the Chief Judge warning President Uhuru Kenyatta not to undermine public confidence in the judiciary. Kenyatta had earlier responded to a court victory for the opposition against Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, saying, quote, "They are taking us for fools. I want to tell those in courts we have respected you, but do not think respect is cowardice, and we will not allow our opponents to use the courts and to intimidate the IEBC, thinking they'll win using the back door." But the Chief Justice David Maraga released a statement a few hours later saying, quote, "When political leaders cast aspersions on the administration of justice based on a misinterpretation of my statements, it has the potential to impair public confidence in our courts, and this concerns me a great deal." Well, joining us now to throw more insight on this is a journalist from Kenya, Teddy Otieno. Thanks for joining us, Teddy.
Thank you very much on your side.
So let's begin with the salary cuts. Now, how are members of parliament reacting to this news that their salaries will be cut?
Well, as expected, indeed, reactions from the legislators who've actually been earning quite a lump sum. They are of the opinion that SRC was a bit too harsh on them, SRC being the Salary and Remuneration Commission. Some of them are of the opinion that really this cut was actually soggy, because we do remember their allowances were cut off, and they've been enjoying this all standing memorial, and this coming in as a shocker to them, because earlier on this year, they requested the SRC chairperson, who's Sarah, for them to actually factor in a lot of considerations as they go about the evaluation of the civil servants' job groups. And for this particular one, most of them are disappointed lot, although having quarters are actually welcoming the idea, because at the end of the day, it is saving the Kenyan taxpayer up to 8.8 billion shillings Kenyan money.
Now, this is not the first time a pay cut has been introduced. Do you think it will work this time around?
Well, it begs the question whether or not it's going to actually suffice at the end of it. Because, back in 2015, we had a similar thing. But then right after it, what did we see? We saw members of parliament coming up in arms, and they have the legislative authority. They either pass or they either quash the law. So them holding the law by their hands and being able to control certain institutions, it is actually possible that this could actually face some little bit of some tension between now and the period of implementation, which is supposed to be right after the election. But then again, as if due process is followed, then I don't see any cause for alarm with regards to how it's going to be implemented. Over to you.
But the elections are just around the corner now, and with this announcement, do you think it's likely to affect President Kenyatta's chances of becoming victorious again at the polls?
Well, President Kenyatta still enjoys a very minimal majority, as I can just quote the latest opinion polls, which are putting him at 47% thereabout, and of course the opposition chief Valo Odinga at 42%. But then again, the opinion polls will say this tomorrow. The polls might change. But then again, with the introduction of such laws in the run-up to the elections, might actually affect the outcome of the poll. Why am I saying this? Because if President Kenyatta faces revolt right from his quarters, those who support him, that being the MPs, then definitely it's going to be a task for him to even campaign in certain regions. But then again,
journalist Teddy Otieno, thanks for joining us on Network Africa. Well, still to come on the program, Ethiopian state jobs as maids in the Middle East despite cases of abuse. Do join us again.